Hello, welcome everyone. It's good to see all of you again. I thank God for this awesome opportunity for me to be here with you and we share and learn together. And the reason that these lessons that I'm posting, please subscribe, share with family members because it's very important that they have this information. Again, there's no way we can actually function in this world thinking that we can do it our way and it's going to come out the way we want life to be. And I was speaking to a couple of friends. We were sitting down talking, and I asked them, and you can do that yourself. I said, how many of you today, your life turned out exactly the way you planned? And these gentlemen were well over in their 70s and up. And not one of them said their life turned out exactly or even close or even 50% the way they intended their life to turn out. And I'm sure you understand what I just said because we set out thinking that we're going to have the life we want. We design it, we execute, and we expect it to happen the way we want it to happen. Well, the world tells us to do it this way and this is what will happen. But the problem is this. The world is saying one thing and God is saying another thing. The question is, who do you think is going to win? Okay? But we already know who's winning because if you look at everyone's life, you can see they don't have what they want. It said in the Bible, in the Torah, that you're not going to get half of the things you want in life, you're not going to get. Why? Because you did not come here to gain things, certain things that you're thinking. That is not your purpose of your creation. That was not why you were created. So therefore, this is why we're not going to get what we want. But what he created you for and what he's going to give you or what you will pursue, if you understand what you were created for and you pursue that, there's nothing greater than a feeling of success and completion and peace when you are following your true purpose in this world. And that's very difficult to do because why? We have a God that we cannot see. But I believe I did cover this in previous video, how to connect to God, how to get close to him. You can live this life the way you want to. But one thing is certain, you're not going to turn out, or it's not going to turn out the way you want it to turn out. Because why? He created you for a specific purpose. He created this world for a specific purpose. And those purposes are not what we want it to be. That's why it doesn't turn out our way, because he created for a certain or specific purpose. And our purpose is different from his. So therefore, we're not going to get what we want because that's not what this world was created for. So we have to understand that and accept that and start to work with, accept. If you can't beat them, join them. But the wonderful thing about coming to God, following his plan that he has for your life, is there's a tremendous amount of peace that you will find, a piece of sense of completeness, a sense of understanding, a sense that you don't feel lost. So when you make decision and you understand that decision, how to make that decision, there's a tremendous amount of peace that comes along with that. And I'm going to tell you, I can give you testimony for my own personal experience, because before I used to struggle trying to make decision. Did I make the right decision or not? Will this decision I just made come back and haunt me tomorrow, months later, or years later? And that's an issue for all of us. Even though we thinking the decision is innocent or small, but it will come back. It will come back. Whether it was a good decision or bad, it's going to come back and bite us. So that is why it's important you want to make the best decision. And there are certain decisions you make. Once you mess it up, there's no going back. So, for example, decision of your youth. You blow that youth away, you can't get your youth back, right? You can't. Having children with the wrong person, you can't change that either. So there are decisions that you can't not undo, okay? You cannot undo. So again, you must listen to these videos and listen to them many times, because every time you listen to them, you're going to learn something new. And that's going to help add to the data. And then the more information you have, the easier it is going to be for you to make decisions. And that's the beauty about God, because he's given us everything we need, all the information we need to live in this world. He has given us to us through his Bible and Torah. So as you learn and you apply these laws, they're not suggestions. God is telling you, these are my laws, this is what I expect you to do. As you apply them, you will see your life begin to change. And you'll start notice the peace and other people around you going to notice you're changing as well. So again, as I said, this is information that you want to share with other people close to you, because what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, everyone is pretty much at this point wondering what's going on with the United States. That's part of some of the current event. Well, God already said what's going to happen. Those who are not following the word of God, they're the one who are lost. And they are going to be the one who's going to be in serious trouble when the time comes, because one, they're not going to have the information to make decision when the difficult time comes. Two, they're going to be caught off guard because they're not going to know what to do. So, when there's bad times and you don't know what to do, your life gets even more difficult than what it's going, or than what it could have been if you had answers. The reason every one of us have a difficult life, one reason alone, because we did not have the right information to make the right decision at that right moment. And now that decision we made many years ago has now turned around to come back and bite us. That's what's going on. So you don't want to make decisions that's constantly revolving, turning, and coming back to bite you. One, every year a new problem comes back to bite you every year. When are you going to have peace? Never. Because why? You're constantly going to be digging or trying to fix the decision you made 10, 15, 20 years ago at the present day. You don't want that kind of life. Again, this is very important that you understand how God operates this world in order for you to have the peace of mind and the life you want to be successful in this world. There's no other way around it. It doesn't matter what anyone is saying. It does not exist. So as I was mentioning, that difficult time is ahead of us, much more difficult time. And I'm going to tell you, a year from now, you're going to find today is paradise compared to what's going to be next year. So you need to prepare, because God already stated how this world's going to end. Now, there's two types of decree God made. He makes a good decree, something good going to happen, and a bad, or something bad's going to happen. But the good decree God makes, meaning that it's always going to happen. If it's good, it's going to happen no matter what. But if it's bad, it can be canceled. If God says something going to happen that's bad, it can be canceled. How can it be canceled? By repenting, changing our ways, and following his way. Then he will cancel the bad decree. That's the only way it can and will be canceled in our lives. But as you see, the world is not doing that. The world is gone all the way to pretty much all the way to the left. I don't think I know any human being that can say they're happy, content, or safe in this world today. It simply doesn't exist. And now, again, this is paradise compared to what is coming. Between 2 or 3 years from now, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to recognize this world anymore. So you better be prepared for what is coming. You are not going to recognize it. Now, the sad thing is this. We are leaving devastation behind for our children. Our children are going to have to live in the mess that we created or we allowed to happen. You see, we are responsible. We allowed to happen. And because of that, our children is going to pay for that. Remember that. Our children are going to pay for it. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it is vital that you learn this and you listen to this with your children, so that way they have this information when the time comes. They know how to deal with it, because we're not going to be there forever for our children. But the best gift you can give your children is information. Information is what will save them for what is coming. Now, the next thing I'd like to talk about is modesty. What is modesty? How does God view modesty? Modesty typically applied to women. God, the crown of a woman's head, on top of a woman's head, is the word modesty. That is her crown. That's what she wears. That is a stamp of approval from God, saying, yes, I approve of who you are as a woman, as my child, as the king's daughter. The king's daughter. Now, I like that word, and not only that, the king's daughter. Let's look at the daughter in particular. So let's look at, Queen Elizabeth, right? Have you, as long as you've been watching this woman, I personally have never seen this woman